He's late again. Oh, the horror. Oh, man, here we go again. Oh, shit. Here we go again. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Den of Nerds. I am Josh, and we have a fantastic show for you today. As always, many incredibly crazy things going out there in the nerdy world, the world of pop culture. DC, Marvel, Star Wars, all of it. There's always something happening. And today, we must discuss Marvel Studios' presentation from CinemaCon last night. We got promotion for the Thunderbolts. We got a little bit of promotion for the Fantastic Four. And so a large part of today's stream will be going over that. However, I got to be honest with you. Something's happening to me inside my body. I haven't felt a change like this since puberty. I don't know if I'm becoming a man or if I'm becoming a MCU hater. But I got to be critical of Marvel, man. I got to be critical, not just of the CinemaCon presentation, but the promotion, the attitude, the culture. Dude, you're getting your ass kicked by Marvel rivals. You're getting your ass kicked by James Gunn and Superman. It's crazy. So I'm feeling very critical of Marvel Studios today. Just want to put that right out there. And we will be discussing the promotion. It's not all bad. There's some good stuff here. I think Thunderbolts looks really fun. But frankly, I find myself incredibly frustrated with Marvel Studios. And particularly when it comes to the promotion of the Fantastic Four and what's going on with Superman right now. Oh, my God, dude. It's driving me crazy. And that leads me to like another weird thing. Again, I don't know what's happening in my body. I don't know what's going on internally, you know? But we also got footage of Superman revealed. And on the one hand, it does confirm the humor elements. And we'll talk about that because I do think that's going to divide audiences. I can already see it. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I've definitely seen a lot of pushback to the tone and the humor, etc., right? But what I can say for myself is I liked the Superman footage, and I'm starting to warm up to this Superman movie. And there's a big difference in what I'm feeling and what I'm seeing when it comes to Superman and what's going on with Marvel right now. And like, I can't believe that this is happening, but I'm starting to get not only excited for Superman, but potentially excited for what Gunn and the DCU could do to the superhero genre. Man, they say wartime makes for strange bedfellows. And I don't know, man. I'm starting to like just read the terrain of the comic book movie space, the comic book television space. And wow. I think we might need exactly what Superman is about to give us. And hopefully Marvel can take note and make some adjustments themselves. You know, we've spoken about this many times, but throughout its history, Marvel and DC have continuously been at odds. Now, most of the time, Marvel is a little bit ahead of them. Marvel's more popular, does more sales, has a bigger impact. But there have been times when DC has taken over, Marvel has gotten either complacent or lazy or haven't adjusted to the new desires of the audience, etc. So there have been interesting times, and it really does seem like DC is on this crazy upswing right now. The comics are doing incredibly. A lot of the hype and buzz surrounding Superman looks great, and it's doing some stuff that Marvel is not currently doing. And so, look, it's shocking. I don't know what to say. Everybody's going to call me a traitor, a flip-flopper. But, wow. I'm a traitor and I'm a flip-flopper. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, I'm pretty much ready. Let's jump ship. Let's become a DC channel. It's all about Superman and lanterns. Marvel, get your shit together. So that's kind of the theme for today's show, man. That's kind of the theme for today's show. We'll keep it light. We'll keep it fun. We will get into Q&A later on in the show, but that's kind of the flavor of today. We're going to go over the CinemaCon stuff. I want to make some points. I have to be critical of Marvel. I'm gonna wag my finger at Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige several times today. And then we will celebrate and discuss Superman, because I know not everybody's on board, man. I'm on board. But I know not everybody's on board. So we'll break all of that down. By the way, I hope you guys have been having a good week. I've had a really good week. You know, very busy, a lot of ups and downs and whatnot. But overall, good week. I want to say thank you for your patience. You know, I missed the stream yesterday. And I just have so much going on, man. Like, right now, with where I'm at, it's just going to be the case that I might miss a stream. I might miss a video here and there, just because I have so much on my plate right now. But I am always constantly trying to work towards getting my shit together, making sure you guys have everything you need. And I really care about, you know, creating the content, keeping that going. And as a small sort of example of that, you know, we missed the Nerdvenger stream Wednesday night. Okay, I had to go on daddy duty. Athena's teething. It's really crazy right now. So I was on daddy duty Wednesday night. So we did the stream last night. And, man, I had a blast. We went for over 3 hours last night. I didn't even realize until we were done. I had an absolute blast, man. We talked some shop. We talked about, you know, just some of the things that had happened yesterday. And then we got into Marvel Rivals, man. I played some Marvel Rivals with the community. And then we did like 2 hours of you guys playing together, and I was just commentating, and like, I love doing it. You guys seem to really enjoy it as well. So I had a blast last night, and the only reason I'm really bringing that up is, you know, there's been a lot of change this year going into the channel. There's a lot of stuff I'm doing behind the scenes that I can't really talk about. And I have a lot on my plate, but I am committed to the community, to giving you guys awesome content. I'm trying to level up my game. You know, I'm in this thought process of leveling everything up, including the daily streams, including the streams behind the scenes with the community, for the members and whatnot. And I feel energized and good about all of that. I think just a little bit more patience with me, guys, and we're gonna be hitting all of our marks really, really soon. And I appreciate your patience, and I appreciate the community. So just wanted to put that out there. Man. I had a blast last night. It was really, really fun. So appreciate everybody that was there. Okay, let's get into the news, man. I suppose let's start by talking about Marvel Studios. Maybe I can just get some of my criticism out of the way here, and then we can focus on the actual promotion and the merits of what Marvel did yesterday. So maybe this is the best way to say it. You know, I thought about how I wanted to approach this topic and this criticism, and I think the best way to sort of frame it, the best way to present the idea to all of you, is that I truly feel that yesterday, as a chronically online content creator, I'm sort of like, it's like in my veins, the internet, you know what I mean? Like always attached to this fucking thing. I constantly not only witness how the studios promote things, but I witness how the fan bases react to things. It's a fascinating part of my job. And I talk about it a lot. So yesterday, in my opinion, Marvel Studios was dominated on social media by two main things. And what do I mean by that? I mean, there were other things trending ahead of Marvel Studios. There were other things that trended longer than Marvel Studios. There were things that created more trending topics than Marvel Studios created via CinemaCon. Two main things. And I am fascinated by this. But the first thing was Marvel Rivals. And you might say, okay, but that's Marvel, right? Like, that's a huge W. Like, what are we talking about here? You know, the Marvel game that's really popular, that everybody loves, had a big announcement yesterday, and it made waves. Like, how is that an issue? Why is that a problem? Well, let me explain. if you go today and you heard, let's say, about CinemaCon, and by the way, do you have Twitter open? You could do this right now live as an experiment. So CinemaCon last night, let's say you heard about it, you want to know what's going on. Go into the search bar of Twitter and type in Marvel and just hit enter and see what happens. You are going to see a shit ton of Marvel Rivals stuff. Marvel Rivals was trending yesterday. Marvel Rivals pushed into trending today. It was trending for like 18, 24, 26 hours. I don't know the exact number. It was trending yesterday when they first started dropping shit. It's probably going to trend throughout today because the company is revealing a bunch of their upcoming characters via content creators. So Friday, right now, a bunch of content creators have like a hashtag ad. I know Tim the Tatman has one. And they're going to play the new characters, and that shit's going to trend. You're going to get clips, earned media, et cetera, okay? So on the one hand, you might be like, all right, that's not like that bad. But I would argue that Marvel Rivals continues to show how to actually capture the attention of a huge amount of fans that are sort of lying in wait for good Marvel shit. You know, and this thing, I mean, we've been saying it for weeks in different ways. A lot of analysts have chimed in on this. Marvel Rivals is more popular than Marvel Studios right now. Marvel Rivals is doing things for Marvel Comics that Marvel Studios has, frankly, never done. Not necessarily all their fault, but they've never done that for comics. You have people going in, reading Squirrel Girl, buying Jeff the Shark shit. Like, dude, this is crazy. Marvel Rivals is a phenomenon, and it is doing stuff that Marvel Studios is not. And so after the big CinemaCon presentation, you go to search Marvel in your Twitter search bar, you're going to be inundated with Marvel Rivals. A bunch of Emma Frost and the jiggle physics of her titties. And it's like, brother, how much more of an obvious signpost does Marvel Studios need to, like, just figure their shit out? Marvel Rivals is literally your characters, your brand, and dominating the news cycle, dominating social media impressions, dominating the excitement of the zeitgeist. People love this fucking game. How much more of an obvious signpost do you need, Marvel Studios, to try to figure out how to get your shit to resonate again with normies, regular folks? My God. Okay, so that in and of itself, to me, shocking, frustrating, because I love Marvel. I love Marvel Rivals. Played a shit ton of it with you guys last night. This game's hot, of course. But it's just so weird that this game's literally better than Marvel Studios right now. Like, that, I don't know how else to say it. Let me just say it like that. Like, I would rather watch that Chinese dude explain the changes to competitive in season 2 than Kevin Feige in another fucking hat coming out and saying any goddamn thing. That's where I'm at with it. Okay? Your shit is not working. And it's crazy to sit here and watch this go down. It's fucking crazy. Okay, so that's like the first part. Now I can turn. Sorry. Look, it's getting hot in here. Probably because I'm getting pissed. You know what else dominated the news cycle? Superman! Oh my God, I can't fucking believe this. I never in a million years thought James Gunn would be able to come in, create DC, create Superman, and be sucking the air out of the room on a night when Marvel Studios is supposed to be breaking ground, promoting, getting us excited and hyped. So let me explain what happened. We'll go over this in more detail because I actually want to break down the whole thing, the Superman footage, all of it, right? But the TLDR is they had their CinemaCon presentation. I think it was Tuesday night. A bunch of people saw this footage. This footage, made as a special presentation, 5-minute like preview thing, is playing in front of movies now. So it's playing in front of Minecraft, which apparently is one of the worst movies ever. Just putting that out there. But either way, people are going to see Minecraft, and they were filming the Superman footage thing. So it started to leak out yesterday. A bunch of people went to early showings of Minecraft, and they saw the Superman thing, and they were recording it and putting it out online. So then Like, after a while, Gunn decides to just release it publicly. And I don't even think he did this on purpose. Sometimes you get lucky with, like, promo and whatnot. But what happened was there was this buildup of buzz because everybody was like, oh, dude, the Superman footage leaked. And, of course, everybody's like, oh, gotta see it. Gotta see it, right? And then it keeps getting taken down, copyright struck, which just created more of a desire to see it. And then Gunn releases the whole thing. And you had this whirlwind. And everybody was so interested in it. And it also looks really good. That also helps, right? It looks, to me, good. And it generated so much conversation. I mean, literally, for me, I couldn't see people talking about Thunderbolts or Fantastic Four because all I saw was Emma Frost titties and the Superman footage and people conversing about the Superman footage. And life was good, you know, like that. Those are two things I'll take on a Thursday night, man. You know, it's like I am really frustrated with Marvel, and I can't help but feel like this is an example. Last night was an example. I didn't want to just ignore it. I didn't want to just gloss over it. Last night was a crazy example where you have CinemaCon in Vegas and Kevin Feige on a stage. Man, I used to go nuts to watch Kevin Feige get out on a stage, you know? And they were promoting these two big movies, promoting Doomsday, talking about all this stuff. And yet, Marvel Rivals is out trending and out impressioning them. And Superman is out trending and out impressioning them. So, I just got to say. This ain't it, you know? And look, maybe I'm just being hyper fixated on one singular evening. It could be the case that I'm just so frustrated overall with Marvel, mostly because of Daredevil Born Again. Really, really don't like that show. Feels like a gut punch. But for whatever reason, man, I found myself in a place of bewilderment yesterday after realizing that the once great Titan Marvel Studios was losing the war for attention against one of their former employees and their own characters handled by a different company. I feel like somebody needs pulled into Bob Iger's office and told exactly what I just said and then demand an explanation. The last thing I'll say on this is there is genuine excitement and hype for both Marvel Rivals and Superman. You can feel it. It's palpable. You can just see it out there online. And when you compare the genuine excitement to the chairs, oh no. It starts to become clear that the chairs was reverse engineered numbers. And the buzz around Superman is genuine hype. That's what it is. That's how I feel. And yes, it was a big number. The chair number was big, dude. Yes. I got to tell you, not feeling good. Not feeling good today about Marvel Studios. Now, having said that, there were things announced. There was promotion. So let's get into that. Let's talk about what was shown. Let's talk about how we're feeling about Thunderbolts. Let's talk about how we're feeling about Fantastic Four. Then we'll get into the Superman stuff. Okay. So, we have descriptions for the presentation for both Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four, including descriptions of the footage that was shown. So, let's start here. And this is over on Discussing Film. Whoa, what the hell? What the hell happened there? Okay, this is over on Discussing Film. Exclusive footage description for The Thunderbolts. CinemaCon 2025 showed eager audiences new footage from Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolts are in their van on the way to an undisclosed location. Bucky and Red Guardian are talking about the origins of their suit. Bucky seems annoyed by Guardian, coldly saying that he got his suit from Hydra. Ghost, Yelena, and U.S. Agent are all trading stories in the back of the van. The van crashes into a building, and we begin a fight scene. Many have questioned the validity of having so many characters with the same lack of power set, but this works in the scene's favor, as it's a brutal, all-out brawl between Thunderbolts and their assailants. Just as the fight is getting going, Valentina tells them they can simply come up. She's populated the Avengers Tower and is trying to get them to form a team, only for the Thunderbolts, who apparently are not a team at this point, say no. The Sentry, Louis Pullman, face obscured, raises his hand and slams one of the Thunderbolts against the window. The rest of the footage is pretty much what we've seen, albeit with some new shots of the Sentry wreaking havoc in New York. Despite general fatigue with Marvel Studios films, this appears to be exactly what fans of the MCU have been looking forward to. A huge event film with plenty of new developments. Okay, so they show some of the action. Some of that stuff did leak out, by the way, and it does actually look pretty cool. There was a sizzler reel, which maybe we can find. Let's see. Marvel Studios might have actually released the sizzler reel, which looked cool and showed some of what they're describing here. Like, I watched some of it last night. There's a part where, like, the Red Guardian is, like, whipping Yelena around. Okay, here it is right here. So we can watch this together.
Countdown of 3, 2, 1, go. And then, all hell breaks loose. Action!
Yeah, like that right there. That right there. That looks cool.
That was the easy part.
Yeah. So here we're at the Merdeka 118, getting ready to do a real base jump off the second largest building in the world.
Let's do it. Hey, okay.
Any stunt in any movie, this is amazing. How many times do you see someone throwing themselves off the building? It's strange how zen I feel.
3, 2, 1, go!
Does look crazy. I have my music going. This is, by the way, that's just how Tom Cruise leaves buildings. Like, you might not know this, but, like, Tom Cruise will go, like, to big meetings and stuff. And then he's like, okay, I'm out. And he'll go to the roof and just jump off.
So much fun.
So let's run through that again, just because you can see a lot of cool stuff in the behind the scenes, like the action and whatnot.
3, 2, 1, go. And then, all hell breaks loose. Action!
Fighting the chicken, that's cool. Yeah, the action does look cool, though. Like that right there, I like that. I like that. I like that shit.
That was the easy part.
Yeah. So here we're at the Merdeka 118.
Yeah, it looks cool, man. So they had a good bit of promotion as far as they had that sizzler reel. Let's see here. I believe they also had another thing that they shot, or that they released, rather. See if I can pull this up here. The limo service thing. I don't know. Here, I'll just take you to the
to do a real base jump off the second largest building in.
So if you look through here, man, they did a bunch of this kind of stuff, like the promo for the movie. This is a lightning bolt. This is a thunderbolt. They did have this kind of trailer here. They dropped this actually a day before, and tickets do go on sale Monday, and that is cool. And I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think this has been good marketing for the Thunderbolts? I don't know. It's fascinating. Like, I feel like, Jeff Snyder said this thing the other day where he said Marvel does not know how to market this movie. They're very happy with it, from what he's heard. They think it's really good, and that's great, but they don't know how to sell it. So that's why, like, if you notice, there's like this A24 like kind of quirky thing they're trying, but some of the trailers are just more like traditional MCU, just going for the hero vibes. So I guess we'll see. This is one of those things where it's really going to be up to you guys and the overall general audience to see how are people feeling about this. You know what I mean? Like, how are people feeling about the movie? Did this get them more excited? And I guess after Monday, we will have a pretty good idea of how this is translated into actual ticket sales, right? This is all of them, and apparently, what's his face was drunk from the casino or some shit. It was probably just a gag, but yeah. So that's literally what we got, guys. That's what we got. You know, and did they say that movie real good and real cool? Yeah, but that's it. I mean, that's the promo. That's your CinemaCon promo. Now, when it comes to Fantastic Four, man, it feels even more lacking to me. But let's begin by reading the actual footage. Oh, here it is. The actual description of the presentation of the footage, okay? So, here we go. Kevin Feige treated CinemaCon 2025 attendees with brand new footage of the Fantastic Four First Steps. The footage opens with our titular family/superhero group being brought onto the talk show. It is established that the Fantastic Four have been around for a good while in this alternate universe of the MCU and are beloved by their society. Sue Storm, Reed Richards arrive late to dinner with Johnny and Ben, but to make it up for it, she announces that she is pregnant. Johnny congratulates the couple, saying Sue will make a great mom and joking that Reed has some work to do. Yeah, he's in over his head or out of his depth. So that's cool, but we knew that, right? I mean, for months I've been saying, you haven't seen any promotion of Franklin, and yet Franklin is apparently a massive part of this movie. The leaked concept art proved this as well. A lot of people looked at the trailer and were like, yeah, she looks pregnant over here. There's a little baby bump. So, yeah, that's what they're doing. She's preggers. Franklin coming. We knew this. Things seem to be going well in this dimension until the Silver Surfer, and people got their first look at Silver Surfer, looks exactly like the concept art, comes to Earth and warns the Fantastic Four that their world has been marked for imminent destruction. The shadow of Galactus is shown looming over New York, and the Silver Surfer tells our heroes they are in a race against time to save Earth from destruction. A civilian asks Reed Richards if they're going to be okay, to which he answers, I don't know. Oh, that's not cool. We'll see him consumed by his research, burdened by his heroic responsibilities. Cool. Sue and Reed make a promise for the future of their child, and we are shown Reed giving a speech and telling the public that the Fantastic Four will protect them. The trailer ends with a shot of the Silver Surfer riding on the iconic board away from burning flames of an explosion. So that does sound cool. The problem is we're not getting any of that. Like, if you just look at the actual feed here for Marvel Studios, it goes from Muse and their busted ass Daredevil show that's not good to Thunderbolts promo into Fantastic Four an hour ago. And by the way, everybody was like, I wonder if we'll get a trailer on 4/4 for the Fantastic Four. And instead of a trailer, you're getting this poster. Now, what I've been told as an explanation for this is that Marvel does not want to bury Thunderbolts. They have a kind of tough task ahead of them to promote Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, but they don't want to bury Thunderbolts. So therefore, they're not going super hard with the Fantastic Four. So I guess that makes sense. I don't love it, though. Here's what I'll say, though. They did drop an article through Empire, and we'll go through this article. It's not a very long one. We do get some new footage here. Looks good. Here's what sucks about this, dude. Thunderbolts, it looks awesome. Fantastic Four seems like maybe the first true new MCU movie. Meaning this movie was not at all produced during the era of like Phase 4 and Phase 5. Right? So this movie is like the first real new MCU stuff. And it looks really good. It's just like, I don't know. Like, again, weird feeling here. And it's like Marvel's made their own problems. Like, what do you mean? Their movies are too close together, so they can't promote Fantastic Four against Superman? That's crazy. But anyway, the Fantastic Four First Steps is a 60s space race movie shot the way Kubrick would have made it. I mean, that sounds right. In the very near future, Marvel's first family will finally come home. It is just 4 months until Fantastic Four First Steps debuts, the culmination of a long-held desire for Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige to turn the iconic superhero team into Marvel Cinematic Universe fold. But in order to release this film, the film is going back into the past, setting it all in an alternate retro-futuristic strand of the multiverse and alternate mid-20th century where Art Deco and sci-fi rub shoulders. And, as Empire's exclusive picks show, before they become the Fantastic Four gang, Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Ben Grimm, and Johnny Storm were simply 4 extremely clever and capable astronauts who embarked on a perilous mission into space and accidentally gained superpowers in the process. The film, says director Matt Shakman, is looking to evoke the optimistic spirits of the 1950s and 60s. This is very much about the spirit of the space race, says Shakman. It's about JFK and optimism. It's imagining these 4 going into space instead of Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. This idea is that they are the most famous people in America because they're adventurers, explorers, astronauts, not because they're superheroes. And they come back and they're superheroes on top of it. But primarily, they're astronauts. They're family. Shakman, whose previous credit in the MCU was directing a similarly retro WandaVision, was keen to make the film feel plucked from that time, or at least a fantasy MCU version. I really wanted to go with as grounded a version of space as possible, he says. So, no wormholes. Their tech is very much retro-futuristic, but it's also booster rockets. It's a combination of Marvel and Apollo 11. That philosophy extended into how the film itself was made. I really wanted to feel like it was made in 1965, the way Stanley Kubrick would have made it, says Shakman. Within reason, there is, he says, an emphasis on practical sets and props. The production, including 14 tall spaceship miniatures, similar to how Kubrick used the miniatures on 2001, and Shakman and his team have used old lenses and taken an approach to filmmaking that feels more of the time. Of course, we still have a lot of CG. The film, it's clear, will feel different to other MCU entries. Significantly, it exists separate from everything that we've seen in the franchise so far. We are our own universe, says Shakman, which is wonderful and liberating. There are really no other superheroes. There's no Easter eggs. There's no running into Iron Man or whatever. They're it in this universe. I love the interconnected Marvel universe, but we get to do something so new and so different. Eventually, this world will meet up with other worlds, but for now, it is our own little corner. The eventual meetup with other worlds is, of course, an illusion. They're alluding to the upcoming Avengers Doomsday. The next big Marvel team up. The studio recently confirmed via series of chairs, Jesus, that the first family would be making an appearance. The Fantastic Four will inevitably be a big part of the MCU's future, but we have their past to look forward to first. It's a mind fuck, that last sentence. Anyway, so you have your Fantastic Four promotion. New images, an article from Empire for Fantastic Four Day, and this goofy ass poster. Now, look, here's the deal, man. Here's the deal, okay? Fantastic Four, from everything I've heard, is incredible. It is different. It is really clean. They shot it all on schedule. Barely did any tune-ups or reshoots. It's good to fucking go. And I think it's going to end up feeling like one of those examples where Matt Shakman just put everything he had into this movie and it just worked, you know? For whatever reason, it feels like they really have something here. My problem is this lack of letting other people know, you know? Like, we're about to talk about Superman, and I've sort of flipped on Superman. I'm starting to appreciate Superman for what I think it's going to be, but from what I have heard, the Fantastic Four movie has like so much more depth than Superman. It's so funny because they're both acting like they're the same thing. Superman is that thing. Fantastic Four is not really that thing. Fantastic Four is like going to be a hardcore science fiction movie that then becomes one of the craziest Marvel movies you've ever seen. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what they're working on. And I'm fascinated to see what that will look like. I'm just really frustrated right now with where Marvel is at and how they've been promoting these two different things here. So I don't know. Like, are we just going to have to wait till after Thunderbolts to start getting like the real Fantastic Four stuff? I don't know, guys. I don't know. But that concludes the first part of the stream today with the look at the CinemaCon stuff, a little bit of wagging the finger at Marvel Studios. Now, let's talk Superman, okay? Now, as I said before, the events, the way this all transpired, pretty fascinating here, okay? So, they had their CinemaCon presentation Tuesday night. Yesterday were the first showings of Minecraft. This 5-minute preview was shown. Oh, and he only has, what, 2 minutes here? There's a 5-minute. They released the whole 5 minutes somewhere, though. At least I'm pretty sure they did, didn't they? Is it just 2 minutes? I thought it was like 5 minutes. Anyway, point is, they had this playing in front of the movie. A bunch of people started leaking it out. Gunn decides, okay, so many people are leaking it. Let's just officially reveal it. So they put it out there. Guys, I want to show you a couple of things here, okay? Somebody's going to get so mad. Look at this. 21,000 likes. 341 views. Now, that's an hour, so that's very impressive. But let's look at last night. 377K. 7K likes. 673K. 16K likes. 300K views. 7K likes. 700K views. 18K likes. That's pretty good. That's a big one. Look at this. 335,000 likes. 335,000 likes. 21.4 million views. Do you see the problem? Like, do you understand what is happening right now? Like, numbers don't lie. I mean, technically numbers can lie, especially in this age. But if they are if these numbers are fake, then Gunn is even smarter than I thought, because this is crazy. Are you kidding me? 21.4 million views, 335,000 likes. That's more views than a lot of the shit we just saw came out from Marvel last night. Guys, even if this was an accident, even if Gunn didn't do this completely intentionally, this is a massive fucking W. That's crazy. And as I said, this sucked the air out of the room last night. This sucked the air out of the room for Marvel Studios. I cannot believe I'm saying this. James Gunn, not only did he get the frag, he walked over to Kevin Feige's corpse and put his nutsack on his face. He teabagged this motherfucker. This is crazy. This is crazy. Okay? Now, on top of that, it looks good. Now, I think it looks good. A lot of you don't think it looks good. We'll get into it, but let's now watch this thing together here, okay? Let's watch this together. We'll watch it a couple times. By the way, Warner Brothers probably going to ding my shit for this, but... That's the original trailer from the December post? No fucking way. Then I fucked up. Everything I just said doesn't matter. It's not the actual thing. Okay, 6 million, 100K. Thank God. Thank God. Like I said, Superman's cooked. We're all in on Marvel over here. It's all about Marvel. No, all my points stand. It's just not as drastic as I thought. All right, here we go. Still, 6 million's fucking crazy. What is it on YouTube? Or you just want the quality to be better, huh? It's still crazy. 6 million views is way more than all that other shit did last night for Marvel. Way more. Do you guys realize how much better this is in the first trailer? Like, I'm not trying to be that fucking guy here, but the coloring is better. There's particles in the air. This is, like, legitimately better. This is color-corrected, better footage. By the way, it's not technically a needle drop. Uh-oh, we're about to get dinged here. It's not a needle drop, but still, this is incredible, man. Like, he's just nailing all the fundamentals here, as you would expect with Gunn, right? But, like, this is crispy. I'm sorry, it is. This is fucking crispy. And that needle drop for the soundtrack, right when he picks the thing, it's clean. Music's great. Dude. Come on. And the part, dude, it's just so clean. It's so clean. And you know what, too? I'm fucking ADD. I'm all over the place with this shit. Listen, Warner Brothers, Zaslav, shut your mouth and listen to me. Put the Diet Coke down and listen to me. I don't care what you're spending to take the footage from what it looked like before to what it looks like now. You need to bill every single second of the movie with the same amount of budget. You need to spend the money to clean this up. I made fun of the first trailer for looking like CW. It did, okay? This looks so much better. So whatever visual effects you're doing to tighten this up, do it for the entire movie.
No need to thank us, sir, as we will not appreciate it. We have no consciousness whatsoever. Merely automatons here to serve. Meet 12. She's new.
He looked at me.
So, yeah. All right, let's take a second here. Yeah, we were right. I mean, it is Guardians of the Galaxy Superman. You can feel it in there. And, you know, so I think that should be put to bed at this point. We should all accept that that's what it is. You either like it or you don't. And a lot of people, from what I've seen, have an issue with it. They have an issue with the humor. Totally get it. It's right there on the line for me. I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of this is probably not going to work. You're not going to get a lot of laughs from me in the theater here. But it's not so invasive and adolescent that I'm being pulled out of the scene. It's kind of like I'm just accepting it as what it is. And it honestly feels a little bit more like Star Wars humor than James Gunn humor, which I really like. I think the difference is this feels and this is actually the word that I've decided to use for Superman, just based off what I'm seeing now. Earnest. It feels earnest. Like it might not be hitting all the time, but it feels earnest in the tone it is trying to present. And I can't help but feel like it's really made for like younger people, which is good. Like that is good. I've been, I love Zack Snyder. I love my darker stuff. I love Warhammer, right? But sometimes, like, especially with a character like Superman, I think it's okay that this is something that like families and kids would love and enjoy. I think it's okay that you just kind of go in for a warm feeling. And that does seem to be what they are trying. So to me, this feels earnest. It doesn't necessarily mean it's always going to work for me, but it feels earnest.
14 fractured bones.
Damage to bladder, kidney, large intestine, lungs.
With a healthy dose of yellow sun, we'll have you up and at 'em in no time.
Super cool.
Level 4.
So
292
cool.
times Saharan Prime, please, one.
You notice the particles around in the air too. It's so clean, dude. It's so crispy. So good.
Who's back?
That still looks goofy as hell to me, but all right.
Superman.
So, like, look, man, at the end of the day, it just is what it is. It's going to hit you the way it's going to hit you. And I have, despite what people think, just been consistent as far as just letting the shit hit me and then making my commentary. I have been very critical of a lot of what Superman has done. I thought the first showing of the suit, stupid, terrible. First trailer, terrible. Like, I know everybody loves that first trailer. I hated that first trailer, but I've been critical of Gunn showing the goofy-ass cross-eyed dude and then telling everybody it's a lens and they should get educated. You know, there's been a lot of stuff that I haven't liked. But ultimately, the total package is starting to come together here. And I just got to be honest. This kind of wowed me and really did flip my feelings towards the film. I'm starting to think I might love this movie. I might come away from this movie loving it, which would be bittersweet because James Gunn is still James Gunn. But it just is what it is. Ultimately, I want a good Superman, and I want a strong DC more than I want James Gunn to go away. You know what I mean? So this is kind of a weird turn of events here. I think this footage looks great. Now, the conversation around the footage is also really interesting. It does confirm the humor. And I've seen a lot of people online, like, let's be fair, because I can be honest about how I feel about it. I also have to be honest about how I think I'm seeing the audiences at large react to it. And I'm not going to lie, a lot of people are divided on this. So, as it turns out, Jeff Snyder's reporting has been accurate. My reporting has been accurate. This is a silly movie. Like, there's no way around it. It has a silly, infantile tone. Now, to me, it is ultimately feeling earnest, and a lot of the stuff that was working in the trailer seems to be working even better. A lot of stuff that I didn't like in the first trailer seems to be polished and looking and operating a lot more smoothly. So for me, like, I'm starting to get really, really excited about it. And I just don't think you can deny those numbers. So it's not like 21 million, but still, like, dude, in one day getting up to 6 million, that's pretty fucking impressive, right? So again, I think DC really did just, they kind of crushed it, dude. Like, if you're talking just in terms of where's the hype and the excitement of the actual fan base, Marvel's kind of like, it's like we're floundering here. We don't even know how to sell our actual good movie. You know, it's just like, it feels chaotic. And DC, you know, they have sort of the benefit of not having any project other than Superman, so they can just really focus on it. And there's like an inherent build into that, right? Like, it's not like Thunderbolts or Fantastic Four even, where it's like a piece of the latest thing, you know, this thing that's been ongoing. Superman is a beginning, and it's hard to replicate that kind of energy, right? At the starting line, you know, off the blocks, let's go. It's really hard to replicate that. But I also think it's fair to take a step back and be like, damn, dude, Superman is seemingly picking up a lot of things and a lot of fans that are falling off of the Marvel wagon. And it's like, this is fascinating, dude. So we'll just see. We'll see how this all pans out. We're about 4 months away from Superman and Fantastic Four. Now, at the end of the day, if both of those movies are absolutely incredible and like that could be really good, man. July might end up feeling like the month of we're finally actually back. And just, I'm talking in terms of just comic book fans, because it's felt really wishy-washy. But if Superman can nail it, great start to the DCU. If Fantastic Four can nail it and feel like a really nice intro into not only those characters, but really Doomsday, then we're going to be fine. Having said all of that, though, I did not in a million years think that I would be sitting here on April 4th and I would be telling you guys that I think Gunn is beating Kevin Feige. I did not think I would sit here and say I'm genuinely really excited for Superman, and the latest stuff from it is blowing me away. What a world. What a world. So, those are all the topics. Those are all the things I want to get into today. We'll break into Q&A now. I'll start to go over everybody's questions, thoughts, concerns. We'll hang out with people in the chat. So, yeah, it should be good, man. I'm fascinated by this whole situation, and the roller coaster ride continues. We'll be back at it next week, too, and I'm sure more stuff will come out. You know, those last 2 episodes of Daredevil are apparently the actual good version of the show, finally. So that's nice. I obviously have a lot of frustrations with Marvel right now. And it's coming out, you know, in all sorts of ways. So that's where we're at. All right, let's get into this Q&A. First in today, Xavier says, more world building in Gunn's DCU than Snyder's DCU. Well, I mean, you can't really say that yet. We haven't even seen the movie. But what I would say is, it seems like Gunn's fantastical version of DC is more fleshed out and accurate to the comics as opposed to what Zach was doing. So Zach was kind of operating in this space of, you know, a deconstruction, modern version of the superheroes where they kind of exist, like they're all emerging, right? So the emergence of these heroes is a part of the narrative there. Gunn is building a lived in, breathed in DC. And what that means is there's just more actual DC history in the universe. So like in that sense, you could, I mean, technically, maybe you're right. We just don't know, and there's also an explanation for it. Xavier says, you think we'll get Batman or Brainiac in Superman? I think you might get Batman. I think it would be huge to get Batman. Be a big missed opportunity if they did not get Batman. JBK, appreciate you, brother. Rossi, thank you for the cake. Brad says, just want to say I love your content, and it's only getting better. Keep grinding and doing what you're doing. Also, Warhammer is coming, chat. Oh, yeah, it's coming, baby. It's coming, all right. Face, neck, and chest, you know? And I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I mean, I'm going to be real. I'm not trying to get cocky here, you know? But I'm really good at what I do. And I feel like I'm just getting started in some ways. So, thank you. And I'll be here all week. Try the salmon. Hitting Things with Sticks says, do you think Star Wars is worth more or less than 2012? Chat, what do you think? If you gave me the Star Wars license and the IP, the total and complete, if you gave me all of Star Wars right now, I'd leave it on vacation. I'd misplace it. Does that answer your question? Bailey Higgins, welcome to the Nerdvengers, baby. You are a Nerdvenger now. Appreciate you. Shub says, if Fantastic Four underperforms, then it's all Marvel's fault for holding back with promoting it. I don't know if it's all their fault, but yeah, they're going to have to take responsibility for it. They're going to have to take responsibility for it. I don't know, man. It almost feels like, I mean, look. There's only so much a human being can do. Even high performers have a ceiling. Okay? And sometimes you stretch yourself a little too thin. I'm guilty of this, you know? And when that happens, it's like absurd to imagine you have the capacity, the bandwidth to be able to handle all the things that entail your crazy ass job. You know, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a leader, very difficult job, a lot going on, a lot of ins and outs, ups and downs. It's crazy to stretch yourself to capacity and think you can handle all of that. So Marvel needs to focus. And I think they are in the process of doing that. But it's one of those situations where to get to that point, they actually have to work even harder than ever, which, of course, opens up all kinds of holes and opportunities for them to fuck it up. So we're just going to see. Again, if you look at what happened yesterday, some of it's just luck. Like, I don't think Gunn's the 60 genius person. You know what I mean? I think he just... In fact, I'll take it a step further. I bet Gunn was pissed that he had to release that publicly yesterday. I don't know that for sure, but that's the impression I get, right? He's just like this control freak, and he was probably like, but I wanted it in front of Minecraft, you know? But what ended up happening? He kicked Kevin's ass. He didn't necessarily plan that. He got a little lucky. You know? Now, the old Kevin would have been like, bet, here's a Fantastic Four thing, public, in 4K. You know? And we're not playing to win, it feels like. And I don't understand it. Grip says, frame showed up. Did you give me that, brother? Hey, I appreciate it, man. Here's the thing. Look at that frame. It's way too big, bro. I did this specifically so that you would see. Because, look, much love, man. But this poster, too small for that frame. So what am I supposed to do? Appreciate you, though, man. Thank you. Kaylin J says, I'm very excited for DCU Phase 1. I just need Superman to be a solid win. It looks very comic accurate. Might do $1 billion. Happy Friday. Dude, this movie to me might do big numbers. It could capture... I understand the tone. I understand that for a lot of people, they're going to be like, especially if you love Zack stuff, which is crazy because I love Zack stuff. However, one little detail about my Zack Snyder love that everybody seems to forget about, I have always been critical of how dark Zack went, particularly with Superman. I want the Boy Scout. I want to get back to that. But I've always given Zack leeway because, according to his own words, he was going to put the toy back on the shelf the way you found it. He had a 5-film plan to get there, and they just cut it and studioed it, and it didn't work, right? But even though I love all that sort of stuff, and I just rewatched Watchmen the other day, I think it's one of the greatest comic book movies ever made, maybe the greatest. And Zack was so ahead of his time, you know, like, and dude, I fucking gush, man. I love that guy. And I think even Gunn respects and understands what he did. But you take all that out of it, and you're just showing me this Superman and Zack's, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Tay Skywalker says, the original trailer from December. I know. I'm sorry. I fucked it up. Josh, you remember what you said about Superman and Gunn? I don't know. I mean, I don't understand what you're asking. Do you remember what you said about Superman and Gunn? I've said a lot. I would imagine most of what I said was very even-handed, polite, reasonable, understanding, complimentary even. So I don't know exactly what you're talking about. But yeah. James R. says, 42 months. I'm not on board with this Superman yet. And honestly, it's because they made him look like such a bitch with first impressions. Yeah, even myself, I was like, I think he's whining just a little bit too much there. But, bruh, I don't know. It just looks great. The robots are great. The Force of Solitude is great. It feels so Superman, dude. It feels so Superman. Braden Thompson with a $20 holla. That ain't cheap. Says, something that has stood out to me most about Superman is Gunn is not afraid to make this look like a damn comic, man. Everything looks like I'm reading All-Star Superman again. Gunn is not afraid to do weird, fun, comic booky stuff. Yeah, and initially, this was something I was incredibly excited about with Gunn. You know, I don't love his sensibilities. I've been very consistent with this. Like, I like the first Guardians. The third Guardians is pretty chill. I don't really like anything in Gunn's catalog outside of that. But that's just because, like, I don't even love, like, the Deadpool vibe. Like, those movies are good, but, like, I'm not trying to watch that character shotgun jokes for 2.5 hours. It's just not my thing, right? So I've always been a little bit on the outside of Gunn's stuff, just because fundamentally something he really likes, I don't jive with, right? But he's been able to handle the balance well in certain movies and stuff. But the thing I was excited about, the thing that immediately I thought was a great, like, attribute that Gunn had was his love of comics. He is such a comic book fan, like one of the sweatiest comic book fans you'll ever meet. So just based off that alone, and it seems like he's found a way to bring a lot of that in with Superman. That's a W, dude. Like, that's a W. No matter how you slice it. Hossam says, this is hitting fire. Oh, hell yeah. Jiggle Physics 8 says, I can see the crash out for you incoming for Superman. Oh, shit. That's not good. Philip Hatch says, with a $20 holla, very generous, says, do you think Feige is in the mindset that he/Marvel are just better than DC/Gunn and doesn't try to get involved in trying to beat them? Do you think he's right or wrong about that? And if you think that's what he's doing, I have no idea what he's doing. I mean, I don't think that's what it is. My impression of it is he is drowning in how to balance and handle their own slate. And he can't get above water enough to, like, look at what everybody else is doing and take the lay of the land. So that's my impression of it, is that he is drowning in trying to figure this out. Frankly, I think he's been drowning for years. I think Kevin Feige might be one of the most miserable people on the planet right now. And not because that's his, factory setting, but because, like, he's had a couple of tough years, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. It's tough. Xavier says, Lex saying he's back is such a Lex thing to say. I mean, I guess so. I don't know if I would. I mean, sure, bud. Grant says with a 5 spot, is it possible you are confusing your disappointment with Marvel with Superman hype? Sure, maybe. Maybe that's mixing a little bit. Do you think anyone else is doing that? Like, Grant, do you think there's any other fans that are feeling that same way? Chat, is it possible that a whole bunch of moviegoers are frustrated with Marvel And therefore, somehow that makes him a little bit more hopeful and excited for Superman. I'm just asking if it's possible. Yeah, I think it's possible, brother. And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm sorry. I'm a little on edge today. I'm not trying to be rude. But I will answer your question this way. It is possible, Grant. And I appreciate the 5. Thank you. Kendall says, I hope Superman is good, but I don't know. Question, any news on Chris Evans or any chance he's in Spidey 4? I'd love for him to be the Baron of mostly normal New York region. Much love to you and the fam. Appreciate you, brother. It was good to see you on the stream last night. I know you came in late, but it was fun. Any word on Chris Evans? No. I mean, he's in Doomsday. And he's in Fantastic Four. That's all I can say. Yeah. Aura.com. Welcome to the Nerd Vengers, baby. You are a Nerd Venger now. Bianca, thank you so much for the gifted membership. Always love to see you, Bianca. Pixel Mish says, do you think people are tired of superhero media? I don't know that people are just plainly tired with superhero media. What I will say is there was maybe a 4 to 5 year time period where making some piece of content into superhero content immediately brought a draw. There was a time when Marvel had become so successful that everybody was trying to do comic book shit. And frankly, a lot of comic book shit got attention it didn't deserve. So we're very far away from that now. I don't know that I would say people are tired of superhero media. What I would say is maybe they're tired of... I would say that it's no longer the case that something being superhero or a comic book adaptation is just immediately a win. It doesn't necessarily bring in more attention, more hype, and in fact, could come with some moans and groans. So maybe people are a little bit tired of it, you know? Rossi says, just wanted to say happy birthday, Josh. What? And I hope the Nerd Vengers have a great weekend as well. Much love. Appreciate you, brother. It is not my birthday, but if y'all want to super chat like it is, be my guest. Trev says with a $10 holla, how much do you want to bet that it's at least a 50% adaptation of All-Star Superman? 12 labors could be some of the episodic nature. We are hearing the Kaiju, Solaris, and all that. I think it's heavily inspired by All-Star. I actually don't think it's going to have a lot of All-Star in it. Other than, like, maybe the tone. But, hey, I could be wrong. I mean, dude, I love All-Star Superman, so bring it on. Bring it on. Jiggle Physics 8 says, July is a big month for movies. Do you think F4 or Superman will get lost in the chaos? No, I don't think so. Those two movies are both too big. You know, look, as hard as I'm being on Marvel right now, there does seem to be an incredible amount of intention for Fantastic Four. So, Superman trailer got like 250 million views or some shit. The Fantastic Four trailer got 200 million without some of the gimmicks that the Superman thing did. That's pretty impressive, you know? So make no mistake about it. There is a lot of interest for both projects, which kind of makes it exciting. I just wish we were like actually having that competition. Feels like Marvel's like, yeah, but Thunderbolts. And we're like, brother, your A24 bullshit movie that been in production for 3 movies, you completely overhauled. You gave a completely different logo, completely different movie. You brought in the beef people. You changed Sentry. Like, we get it, Marvel. We know. We're going to watch it. Shut the fuck up and tell us about Fantastic Four. But maybe that's just me. Appreciate you, Jiggle Physics. Love that name. Nerd Executive. What's up, brother? Says, hey, Josh, Nerd Executive here. Not first time, long time. Question. How many crypto licks does it take to get your gooey gun-filled center? Thanks for the answer. Nerd Ventures for life. Man, that felt like my own personal Vietnam War. You know, going through that question to me was maybe some of the most challenging moments of my adult life. That was crazy. Yeah, how many licks to get to my gooey gun-filled center? Why don't you get a bunch of saliva in your mouth and then spit it out? Get the fuck out of here. Javier says, Nicolas Cage is my favorite Superman, even though the Flash movie sucked. I'm grateful we got a Nick Cage Superman scene. Well, that is a pretty wild opinion. But you know what, Javier? I'm not going to hold it against you. It's cool. If that brought you some joy, if you thought it was cool, who am I to shit on that and tell you that it was disgraceful, that Nick Cage didn't even know about it, and that Warner Brothers did real bad? You know? Much love. Vandolph the Black with a $20 holla. My God. That ain't cheap. Says DC is working to align its comics, movies, animation, and television to create cohesive experience, while Marvel is not prioritizing this. Consistency is important. DC's work possesses comic book energy, unlike the MCU. I'm starting to think you might be right, brother. And I don't know how we exactly got here. I would hate to find out that this was intentional, that Marvel was intentionally going away from their comic books. Wouldn't that be something? But, yeah, it does feel like there's something going on. You know, it does feel like something's going on, huh? Appreciate the 20. Cole Maynard says, finally caught you live. Been busy with the pod, but I always go back and replay to keep up with your nerdy content. Much love. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, Cole. It's probably cool to see your the thing you made me, too, huh? The Nerd Vendors thing. Much love, brother. Brynamic says, personally, I love Snyder's DC a lot, but I am optimistic of Gunn's DCU. It's just I'm just conflicted on DC as a whole. I have faith in Marvel still somehow. I can't blame you for being trepidatious about Warner Brothers and DC. I mean, the past 10 years, you think Marvel's been having a bad couple of years? DC having a bad couple of decades. So yeah, I totally get it. And I still have a lot of hope for Marvel too, man. It's just like, I don't know, man. I'm tired, boss. You know what I mean? Like, I'm tired, boss. I said this with the Daredevil thing. I don't even know how to feel. I have no sense of what is even, like, how should I feel about Daredevil? Like, I've lost how I'm supposed to approach this. I'm so upset about Daredevil. I'm trying not to go crazy on it, but I can't even describe to you how it feels. Untethered, maybe is the way to say it. Untethered. So, yeah. The Machete Order. The Machete Order with a 10 spot says, if Disney is serious about fixing Star Wars, it's obvious KK is out, but only getting George back will get most of the fans back and would ease cutting a deal with Gina. Yeah, so here's what I'll say on that. Yesterday, CinemaCon, 0 Star Wars. And that tracks. And one of the things we talked about, I guess it would be on Wednesday now, because I put out this big exclusive, all these leaks for Ahsoka Season 2 and Star Wars. People are starting to realize that I was right, by the way. It's fascinating to watch that go down. If you have not watched that video, check it out. Unless you don't like leaks and spoilers. Some people are just not into it. Totally get it. But here's the point. In that video, I said, don't expect a lot announced at Celebration, because Star Wars doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. And this is actually a good thing, because what it indicates is that there's a camp of people, either at Disney or at Lucasfilm, potentially at both, that is not down with what Kathy wants to do. So, let me say it a different way. If everybody over there was like, you know what, Kathy, 6 Ray movies sound fantastic. You can retire, but still hover and produce all the movies for 5 to 6 years. If everybody agreed with that, you'd have announcements last night. You'd have announcements at Star Wars Celebration. And the fact that you won't, the fact that it feels like there's nothing, is a good thing. That's all I'll say. Javier Mendez with a $10 holla. That's very generous, brother. Thank you. No message. Watch those wrist rockets. Says everyone should read All-Star Superman before the movie. DC has a compact version for $10. Whoa, really? That's crazy. Here's to an epic summer. Oh, hell yeah. Hey, DC might be back, man. DC might be all the way back. I'd love to be able to make DC videos. Like on the regular. That'd be so cool. I love DC, man. If this movie slaps and Lanterns is like nice, whew, could be great. Tim O'Brien. Thank you for the 5 gifted, brother. That ain't cheap. Thank you so much, Tim. Always so supportive, brother. Velvet Starlings with a $2 holla says, name your top 10 songs by the Doors. Name all of them. Yeah, do you like the Doors? Why don't you name every Doors song there ever was? Okay, I'll name a few. In no particular order. The Crystal Ship. LA Woman or Mojo Rising, depends on how you call it. Spanish Caravan. I mean, Riders on the Storm, it's normie as fuck, it's pedestrian, but it's still great. And then that 17-minute long song they made, I think it's called The Lizard Shaman, The Lizard King or some shit. Celebration of the Lizard. Yeah. Great song. Super trippy. What else do I like? If you've ever listened to the album of Jim Morrison's poetry, it's brilliant. There's also an album where they took Morrison's poetry and laid it in with the Doors instrumentals. Oh my God. It's a good time. It's a good time. It's a good time. I love the Doors. Thank you for the question. The Wax King with a 5 spot says, Josh, when are you going to understand? Every day is your birthday. What? All right. Nerds Engage says, give up your hair or get a good Superman movie. Probably, I'd give up the hair. I'd give up the hair to get a good Superman movie. I think that's what you're asking. Ozzy says, I've never laughed harder on a Nerdventure stream. Absolute cinema. Yeah, we had a good time last night, dude. We really had a good time last night. I think we all needed it, too. You know? It was good to just kick it. Zcat Daddy 69 with a 5 spot says, my normie friend said the new Superman looked good because of the dog. They have dog-loving normies in the bag. Nerdventures for life. That's true. You know, for me, that's an element that I'm kind of like, I sort of explained this last night on stream, but I have 2 Shiba Inu, and if you ever want to rewire your brain chemistry as far as how you feel about dogs, get 2 Japanese wolves. TLDR, the dog does nothing for me. You know what I mean? But it doesn't necessarily upset me or excite me. It's just whatever. But I would say for a lot of people, yeah, they're probably feeling it. You know, they're probably like loving it. And they're like, yeah, dude, dogs. Hell yeah. You know? Yeah, kind of interesting. Have you seen the leak for outside set of Superman? Are you talking about this leak? Right here? I have not seen this, no.
The Avengers Doomsday film set. At this moment we can only speculate what this model is. On first glance it looks like a volcano which has erupted. The volcano could be high up on a hill which has some damage done to it. Next to the suspected volcano is another smaller volcano which I assume is not complete. What are your thoughts and guesses on this set?
I have definitely not seen this video, and I definitely haven't seen all the other videos of the sets being built for Avengers Doomsday.
The first look of the Avengers Doomsday film set.
But maybe you'll find somebody that has. All right, let's keep going. Record of the Nerds said, Josh, gotta go see the new Emma Frost skin. Gonna break the Gooners for sure. Oh, yeah, dude. Looks great. Hell yeah. Looks great. All right, everybody. Hey, I'll chill for like 5-10 more minutes, but I'm gonna get on out of here. What a fantastic week of content. I can't believe I've completely flipped on Gunn and Superman. What a crazy time, huh? What a crazy time. And by 5 to 10, you mean 10 to 15? Huh? Weekend incoming? Yeah, it is almost the weekend, huh? You guys got any cool plans this weekend? What are you guys doing this weekend, huh? What are y'all even doing this weekend, you know? What are y'all even doing this weekend? Any cool plans? Congrats on the bag from DC, by the way. I probably have the opposite of that. They probably copyrighted this stream. They took all the money today. Probably. I don't know. Did we paint any Warhammer? Yeah, we did some painting last night. Here, I'll show you one of them. Not all the way there. But yeah, I did a little. I got a little dry brushing on this guy, a little bit of the cloak painted. You know, got to get in there, do more work on this boy tonight. And he's got 5 friends. So we're getting there. I really like how this one turned out. But, yeah. Birthday barbecue? Woo! What happened to Fridays or chill streams that we watch videos? Well, we haven't really started that yet. And today there was just enough news to just go. So, I saw someone paint an entire army of Buzz Lightyears. That does seem cool. Here, I shared this on our Discord. Let me see if I have this here. I thought this was so cool, and it just shows you how creative people can be with Warhammer here. Let me see here. I have to find this. God damn, our Discord is crazy active. Hey, guys, can I ask you guys something? Just tell me honestly in the chat. Do we have one of the most active Discords that you are in? Because, like, every time I go into Discord, hundreds of messages for me to catch up. Like, do we not have one of the most active Discords that you are a part of? Holy, dude. Where's this fucking post I made? Jesus. Oh, here we go. This is cool. So look at these Terminators, dude. They've got a Deadpool and a Wolverine-style Terminator. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? How come you guys aren't building these, painting these, and sending these to my P.O. box, you know? That's what I want to know. Come on, man. Yeah. The 2 main Discord servers are active AF. Yeah, they are. Because you don't run those? I would run these, dude. You could proxy these for any Terminators. What I would do is I would proxy them as, why aren't you building them? Hey, shut your mouth. Hey, you don't say that. What I would do is I would run these as shield captains for like the Custodes or something. Or like a captain in Terminator armor for my Dark Angels. Woo! Just bought my Dark Angels Codex? Nice, dude. Welcome. Welcome, battle brother. I too am a Dark Angels player, so now we're brothers in arms. Bratsia Barusha, as they would say in Russian. What else is on your mind, chat? How's the week, man? Guys, we're almost out of here on a Friday. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell else is going on with you? Sachin says, because of you, I'm buying comics for the past 2 years. Regular comics. The Ultimate Series, Absolute Batman, Wolverine Revenge. Thank you, nerds. Oh, dude, I'm happy for you, man. Comics right now doing pretty well. I need to catch up on my comics, but there's a lot more enjoyable stuff to pull and follow than there has been in a while. So I'm glad you're having a good time. Hey, we bring the nerdy here, you know? A lot of people have come into this community and they're pretty nerdy, and then within a couple of months, they're really, really nerdy. Ezekiel Alves, I like that name, brother, says, how can you compare views/likes on tweets of a poster of a movie to actual footage from a movie with one of the most popular comic book characters ever? So in a sense, that is true. What I would argue, my counter to what you're asking is, why is Marvel not doing what Superman is doing? If it's as simple as you say, right? Because this is just like logic. If it is as simple as you say, then why isn't Marvel just showing footage and then getting those views and likes? You know? And I'm not saying that, like, that's a gotcha, and I'm like, you're wrong. This is a conversation. I have my opinions about it. You have your opinions about it. I'm just saying, and I think you cannot refute this. Like, I don't know. I'd love to see somebody try to refute this with numbers. Superman dominated last night's social media while Marvel was holding a big presentation. I mean, how is that not fair to say? Superman dominated the social media conversation last night while Marvel was holding a big presentation. Isn't that fair? That's fair, right? Found out that I'm the last one of my high school friends that's subbed to Disney Plus. Same guys I watched every Marvel movie with until Endgame. Yeah, oh yeah, it's bad. I'm not gonna lie, like it's gone a bad way. Disney Plus is a big part of it. Disney Plus sucks. I'm not gonna lie, it sucks. Rossi says, going to watch the old Planet Hulk animation and get drunk with my homies. Now that is a dope Marvel movie, dude. Oh my God. There's a part with Beta Ray Bill too. Oh my God. Have you ever seen it, Rossi? Whoo! Now that is some super hot fire. Lady Boner says, drop the price. Oh, sorry. Wrong stream. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Oh, a Switch 2 reference. Well, look, I'm not an economic expert, but apparently neither is anybody that's in charge of the economy. So, drop the price. I don't know if that's going to happen for a while. I'm just going to be honest. We might all be fucked. Money might not exist anymore. We'll see what happens. What do you lean more towards? More attacks or more damage? Well, it kind of depends, right? I like models that have multiple profiles. So one of the reasons that I love the Blade Champions is because the Blade Champions have an answer for everything. If the Blade Champion runs up on a big unit of like chaff, we could do a sweep attack. We could do a ton of damage, spread out, kill a bunch of little dudes. If the Blade Champion comes up against something that's very big and tough, he has a devastating wound profile with a high strength. And then there's an in-between too. So it just kind of depends. What do I personally love? I love both, but one of the coolest things to do. So I run a lot of stuff with like las cannons or salvo launchers. And there's nothing like getting one missile through or one las cannon shot through. And then you roll D6 damage, you hit a 6 and you're doing like 7 to 8 damage in one go. Woo! That's a good feeling. Ezekiel says, in fairness, DC also has to rely on Superman to save the brand, while Marvel has plenty to look forward to in the future. Absolutely fair point. Totally fair point, man. Yep. Justin's banning himself? Oh, no. Justin, don't ban yourself. I mean, unless you're feeling it. I don't know. You know, some people, they like to do stuff to themselves. You know, who am I to judge? Who am I to judge, jury, executioner? Does he hold the record for mod bans? Oh, that's fantastic. Who are you to yuck somebody's yum? I would never want to do that intentionally. Again. Zack Attack says, any news on a potential Batman? I haven't heard anything, man. Yeah, I haven't heard anything. I'll let you know if I do, though. Ah. You skipped my chat? No, I didn't. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did. Shalami Leaner says, honestly, Marvel should make movies from Marvel rivals like a Magic or Psylocke show or movie. I think they should. I think not only should they do that, they should be really looking at why Marvel Rivals is killing it. And it's really not rocket science, dude. So, yeah, I'm looking for them to, like, understand what's happening. So, yeah. Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, hey, that marks the end of the show. I really appreciate all the support. I really appreciate all the love this week, man. We'll be back at it next week. I've got a big video. It might drop today. It's a Dr. Doom video. I've been trying to work on it. Unfortunately, I'm just not happy with it yet, so I'm adding some stuff to it. I'm going to work on that this afternoon. Maybe that'll drop today. If not, it will drop tomorrow. Ton of really cool. I'm going to make a whole video about Superman. I'm going to make a whole ass video about Superman, why I'm turning on it, why I'm starting to get really excited about it. So I'm going to make a big Superman video. And then, yeah, we'll be back at it next week. Lots of streaming. Lots of streaming, baby. Braden says, Marvel Studios just needs to make superheroes sexy again. I think you're right. I think that's a big part of it, dude. You know? Can I leave you with one last thought here? You know, and we almost got out clean. I'm going to say one thing, and this will get me canceled. You know, we had such a nice run, such a good stream today. But this last thing I'm going to say here will absolutely get me canceled. So it's been nice knowing you, but somebody just needs to say it. Watching a podcast with Brandon Sanderson, okay, and his co-host made a really interesting point. Now, he was being a bit facetious, and I know there'll be some pearl clutching when I say this, but he said, in no uncertain terms, we kind of need to bring the perverts back. Unfortunately, you look throughout history of Hollywood, you look throughout the history of a lot of art, the perverts, they make good art. I'm sorry. And, Bo, I hope you don't take this the wrong way. But, you know it's true. So, I don't know. We need to figure this out. It just is what it is. They make good art. What do you want? You want to feel safe, sanctimonious, or do you want to have a good-ass time? I don't know. So, anyway, with that, let's conclude this stream just like we concluded my career. Much love to you all, man. I appreciate you. Take care of yourselves this weekend. I'll see you. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Oh man, another happy landing. I appreciate it, man. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you're having a good time. I mean, I would imagine you must be enjoying the stream at least a little bit. Y'all keep showing up. So thank you. And I'll keep doing my thing. I'm going to try to improve it for you guys, but, you know, just keep doing my thing. So thank you. Much love. And I'll see you all again soon. Thank you. Remember, you gotta open up that third eye, baby. And you gotta watch out that stinky butt. All right, peace out.